I can show them how to do it when I'm in the zone. Before we start, let me puff that indigo. If I thrust, guaranteed you gon' feel it though. My intro for this real shit. When I walk the bridge and we built it. Two hoes got the boy on kill clip. My team good and we rollin'. It ain't really hard to see that I'm fresher. I'm a F5 with Brock Lesnar. We ain't got time to listen. Yo, lecture. Let him put the title up and I get your bitch. Ask me, we ain't never made up. When the times got rough, we ain't never gave up. Boy, you next to the one like Morpheus. So the NLO can't fuck with us. That's real talk in this purple rain. Know some real dudes that'll bring the pain. Stay fresh, rock shades like Johnny K. So they got a bad bitch, don't sew on your blade. You ain't put in work, we can ask your girl. Man, cause she said I'm the best in the world. When it comes to the game, they honor me. I destroy your league, Sean Connery. That's a mere depiction what I'm clone like. Team on like a hard light. Love bad girls, that's all night. With a gang of weed and we all right.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. And we are live with Dead on Dave right here for as long as I friggin' want. I got no shows following. I got nothing, so it's just me as long as you guys want to see the fat man go. So I don't know. I'll probably tire out soon because I'm fat and I'm tired. So we'll see. I'm real excited. It should be a great show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to get to the week that was in wrestling because so much happened this week. So we're going to get to all of that and much, much more. We're going to take your calls. We're going to listen to what you guys have to say. We're going to talk about wrestling, sports, life, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to call in about. We are here to do this thing. A couple of quick announcements. We got the Dead on Dave Fantasy Football League. That's starting up here real soon. The draft will be next week during this show. That's what this show will be. So if you are not a football person, that may not be the show for you, but it will be a live fantasy draft with everybody who is there in the draft, participating, coming onto the show, talking. It's going to be a lot of fun. Should be absolutely insane. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Should be great. And I'll probably do something a little extra throughout the week to sate all of you wrestling fans, because I know you guys want to hear wrestling bullshit. So I will do that as well. And I want to talk wrestling bullshit because it's what I love. Also, starting tomorrow, it will be a live show on Sunday, but it will be very early in the morning. It's going to be, I believe I said, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is what I decided on. NFL Breakdown. I'm going to preview the entire 2015 season. I'm going to go through every division. I'm going to take your calls, your teams. If you want to ask about your team, I'll say what I can. I don't know if it'll be good or nonsensical. I have no idea. My football views are very old-fashioned, so I don't know. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. And that will be a weekly show, NFL coverage, right here on Dead on Dave Productions, because you guys asked for it. So there it is. And that will be weekly. It'll be early. It'll be Eastern Standard Time, 9 in the morning. So you West Coasters are going to have to get up if you want to call in. But still, I got to catch it before the NFL. I got to catch it before all that and game day and pregame and all that shit. All right. So now that all that stuff is out of the way, let's get to it. And I want to start with Sting. I think Sting is probably the biggest story coming out of SummerSlam, the night after, I should say. I have an issue, fundamentally, I have an issue. Matt Ernie says, Dave, is Sting overrated at all? I don't think Sting is overrated. I don't. I think he's a legend, man. I mean, the career he's had has been absolutely epic. The guy was able to do things with one or two segments in 98 and 97 and become the wrestler of the year, wrestling 2 or 3 matches. It's very impressive what he's been able to do. So no, to answer that question, the first question of the night, Sting is not overrated in my book. But I want to get into Sting and the possibility, the very sudden, real possibility of him becoming a WWE champion at the age of 56. As silly as that might sound to some, I think there is some possibility of it. Obviously, the quick pump your brakes moment is the fact that they're not going to put the belt on Sting after everything they've done for Rollins. Obviously, most people, what they've thought about the Seth Rollins run and what was going to happen have been wrong. Nobody expected them to give this much of the world to Seth Rollins. And I think overall, it's worked out. We've got a hell of a guy in Seth Rollins who's not only a top-level heel, even though he could be a little cartoony at times, but he also has a lot of upside for the future because I think most people do still see him having a huge face run at some point. So there's all this very exciting stuff to be talking about. when it comes to Seth Rollins. So obviously giving the belt to Sting at this point would kind of curtail that. It would derail it. So I don't think that's going to happen. And if it's not, then what's the whole point of this? That's the big question. That's what we're going to get into. But I'm going to break in my own rule here because I haven't heard from this guy in a while. I'm going to take a phone call a little early. By the way, on Raw reviews and all that, expect a little bit of a format change. I'm not going to take calls right off the bat. I'm going to get through some of my notes and my copious amounts of notes and all that shit, and then I'll take your calls. So don't freak out if Dave's not answering the phone. It's just I'm going to get some stuff out first and then take your calls. But on this show, since this is about you guys more than it is about me, let's go old school Matt calling in, man. What you got? Probably my longest listener I have, to be honest. Got to be one of the first 5 guys to start listening to me. What's up, old school, man? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. And I got to agree with you on this one. I don't see them taking the belts off Rollins because I see them turning him in sort of like an HBK Triple H mixture.
Yeah, I mean, his title run has been just textbook Triple H. It's been absolutely textbook Triple H. And so you have that side of it to where you can kind of crush the entire thing. So if he's not going to get the belt, why have Sting in this match, and why does it make sense? I'm just going to give the reasons why I like this. All right, I think it's a very fresh thing for the WWE to do. And it has nothing to do with, yes, we've had older guys come in and, the part-timers come in and get title shots. So that concept isn't new, but the fact that it's Sting, and it's WWE, I'm sorry, I can't help my fandom. When I saw Sting holding that WWE World title on Monday, I lost my shit.
I got to agree with you on this. And let me ask, when was the last time we saw a WCW original holding a world title in WWE?
Booker T.
And how long ago was that?
Last time he held a belt, what was it, 2006, 2005, something like that?
So, that means no WCW has held a world title in this company in nearly a damn decade.
Is that correct? I think that might be correct. Well, RVD wasn't WCW. What am I talking about? I don't know. It's just crazy. There's just a lot to think about when it comes to this. I'm a big fan of Sting, obviously, and I'm okay with putting my fandom aside and talk about why this is a bad idea. Obviously, I'm saying obviously a lot tonight. I don't know why, but it's apparent that Sting is old. We know Sting is old. He's 57. It's right out there in the open. Even a blind man can see that he's old. However, he doesn't look anywhere near 57. And I got to be honest, he looked better on Monday than he did at WrestleMania, and I thought he was in great shape then.
I mean, hell, he looks in better shape than, honestly, half the damn roster at this point.
Well, he looks like I don't know about if he looks in better shape, but he looks more energized. He looks more like he really wants to be there. And that's the best thing about Sting being there at this point in his career. He's there. He's not there for money. Sting's got money. He's made more than enough money in his career. He got such a big contract from WCW that he didn't have to go anywhere and work for a couple of years. He just got to get paid because he had so much money coming in from WCW.
Seriously, the man's rich enough to buy you, me, Joe, and Tommy all at the same time.
Yeah, at least rent us. No question about that. At least rent us. There's no question. But so it's not a money thing. It really is about a curtain call, a proper curtain call. Sting deserves to be in the WWE, man. He's earned that, I think. And his WrestleMania moment, people are very conflicted with because everybody wanted to see him win that match. I'm still okay with it.
And that's one of the things about WrestleMania I keep coming back to is that no one expected that. We had him built up for 6 or 7 months, and we just didn't have that payoff. We just didn't have that payoff.
No, and that's why I kind of figured this run was coming, that we were going to get more out of him because of that fact that he didn't get that big win. And now it's turned out to be true. And Sting, look, I think a lot of people, even the ones who didn't know that Sting was going to be at the show, because it was a half surprise, because most people knew he was going to be there. If you read the dirt sheets, you knew he was in the area, but you didn't know what segment he was going to be on. With John Cena getting kicked out of the arena moments before the unveiling, I think most people, especially with Seth Rollins right before the unveiling saying the champ is here, expected that to be John Cena. underneath that thing. Because that's typical WWE booking. Sting was a genuine surprise there for me. I was like, that was crazy to see him in that spot.
Unless your name is Joe or Leah, of course.
Oh, of course, they know everything. But it's just like you heard all of this. Well, they also knew that Sting was. They're not the guys that I'm talking about. I knew it was going to be Sting there too because I knew he was in the area. What I'm saying is, for the people who didn't know, not everybody reads these dirt sheets. Not everybody, gets spoiled. So
the people that read it at least know that segment we're going to have something to do with Sting at some point or another.
I think a lot of people still figured Sting was going to be getting involved. What was being reported was with the Wyatt situation, and then the Wyatt situation came and gone, and then boom, he comes in the main event picture there, opposite Seth Rollins and holding the belt no less, and then directly after Triple H making that match. I mean, it hit really quickly.
Now, I don't like the idea of Sting getting involved in the Wyatts at the moment.
I hate that. Yeah, I hate it.
Here's the reason for me. If it was just Sting and Bray Wyatt, I could get behind it.
Yeah.
But because it's got to do with this whole family thing, which they are really trying too hard on.
Yeah. Yeah, they are pushing it way too hard. I agree. It's quite annoying. It's quite annoying, the family thing. They had a good thing with Wyatt and Reigns, and they ruined it. They decided not to go. I'm going to kill Tommy C. I'm going to kill him. I know that's him calling, and I'm going to kill him. Give me that phone, Alicia. If this is Tommy C, he's going to die. Are you serious? Again? You're live, motherfucker. Yeah, it's Saturday, the day that I switched to. And now everybody can hear you. Say hi. Oh, God, man. Every time.
I'm not used to this shit because you're no longer leading into my show.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which actually kind of hurts me.
I apologize for that, but I'm not going against the NFL, buddy. I'm not going against the NFL.
Most hockey fans don't give a shit about football.
That's a really short-sighted way of thinking. I know that. I just give you shit about it. All right, buddy. Oh, my God. Tommy C, everybody. Holy fuck, man. What is the matter with this guy? 3 weeks in a row. Oh, unbelievable. That's okay, though. We all love Tommy C.
The man makes me look sane.
No, right? Oh, my God. Yeah. So there's your Tommy C side. He'll probably call in on Skype because he's back from vacation. Where was I before that rude interruption?
Something to do with the Wyatts.
Yeah, I don't think that worked. I don't think it would have worked. They had a good thing going with Reigns, and they just spoiled it because they didn't want to go too edgy with the daughter and all that stuff, which I kind of get, but I kind of think it's also pussified bullshit, but it is what it is. Now we're stuck with this weird family thing. The one good thing we've got from it is Braun Strowman, who looks like that dude is scary big.
I'll be honest, I'm one of those guys that first time I'm thinking, oh dear God, this guy will start literally eating people's souls.
Well, see, I watched him in the World's Strongest Man competitions, those things that he was doing. So I knew a little bit about him beforehand, and he's an absolute monster, man. He really is. He's just a strong guy. Now, can guys like that translate well to wrestling? Every so often. Mark Henry had a really good career up until he got old. And completely useless, and now he's just a massive mound of terrible. I love you, Mark, by the way. If you're watching, I love you. We had a great conversation in 2007 at Tribute to the Troops in Iraq. I talked to you for 15 minutes. I love you to death, but you know as well as I do, it's time to go. I'm just saying. I love you, Mark Henry. Love you. I'm going to clip this and send it to you because I don't care if you know that I think it's time to go. You can kill me. I know you could. You know you could. You probably don't even remember talking to me, but that's okay because I look like I ate the guy that you talked to, but that's all right. That's all right.
I mean, when you've got the New Day yelling on Raw, you need to retire, it's time to go.
Yeah, it really is. But that's okay.
And take Big Show with you.
Yeah. Oh, God. And if you want to bring Kane with you, that's fine, too. Take Kane, drag his ass with you. And look, this is no offense to any of those guys. I don't want to bury those guys. I would love them to be a part of WWE in some way. I feel they have a lot to offer. They can help big men work because in their prime, all three of them were not good, not great, but elite big men. I mean, when you look at it, you look at Big Show in his prime, he's the greatest big man to ever be. When you look at Big Show in his prime, 25, 26, 27 in WCW before he got happy and went to WWE and gained friggin' 80 pounds and really wrecked his body, that dude was an absolute monster. He's one of my favorite big men of all time. He was able to move, everything. He was great. And you can say the same thing about Kane. He's in that conversation. Mark Henry had so many things in his career that he did. Injuries obviously slowed him down, and that was the big difference between him and the other two guys is Henry had a lot of injuries. But it's just interesting when you think about it. They can do so much in the back to help some of these big guys, like a Braun Strowman, who really is going to need help. I think he's going to need help because it's not easy to translate over from a bodybuilding world or a tough man, world's strongest man competition stuff into the wrestling. It's hard, especially since so many of us are so critical of these guys.
And another thing they have to be careful with this guy is you don't want to turn him into one of those generic big guys.
Yeah. You don't want him to be a Eric Rowan. You don't want him to be an Eric Rowan.
Or God forbid a great Khali.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, he's nowhere near. See, Khali was so immobile. That's why he didn't work. He was so immobile and clunky. Strowman looks like he's an athlete at least. You know, I mean, Khali, he was just big. I don't think anybody's going to mistake Khali for an athlete. You know, Giant Gonzalez, not an athlete, just really fucking big. You know, but this guy Strowman is an athlete and he can move a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what they do. He's not Daniel Bryan. Nobody's expecting him to be that. He's not going to work a singles competition. He's there to make the Wyatt family look stronger. And they're going to bring in another ham hock, whether it be Eric Rowan at some point when he comes back or another guy. They're going to bring in another monster dude and probably a female from what I'm reading. They're going to bring in a Sister Abigail, even though if you go back and you know your Wyatt family history, he does say that Sister Abigail died. But that's okay.
And when you like I said, the whole thing with him and Reigns to begin with was a good thing.
Loved it.
But they didn't want to get too edgy about this, and you can blame that on Rey Mysterio and CM Punk.
Yeah, well, it's just a different era. It's just a different era now, so that's what it is.
I mean, you remember what happened back then, right? I think it was 2009.
The Who's Your Poppy?
No, Rey Mysterio, his daughter's birthday on SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that too.
And that creeped even me out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of creepy things. Hey, I appreciate the call, Mr. Old School Man. You got anything else before I let you go?
I'm just glad I have talented friends.
That's right. That's right. Take it easy, bud.
Later, man.
Old School Matt, everybody. Old School Matt. Let's go into the comment section. Clinton Gorman says, Dave, do you think that they're putting the belt on Sting so John Cena will beat him to become the 16-time world champion? I don't think they're putting the belt on Sting. I think that this is a match that they're going to have at a minor pay-per-view. I mean, Night of Champions, granted, it's supposed to be a big, but we know from experience, Night of Champions is a bullshit pay-per-view. It's horrible, and that's okay. They're doing something to kind of bridge the gap between now and Survivor Series and all the things that come after. Because the cool thing is, you give John Cena a little bit of a break with Seth Rollins for the world title. You can have Seth Rollins pull double duty that night, and by losing to John Cena earlier in the night, it's going to make Seth Rollins look really vulnerable to lose to Sting. So you're going to have, all of this buzz that Sting's going to actually take the title off this guy who's literally more than half his age. So it's going to be really interesting from a creative standpoint and how they're able to get through that match. I don't know if he's going to defend both titles that night. I think that would be the smartest creative thing to do is have him defend both. One being against John Cena and then, of course, the other being Sting. That is going to make things very interesting. Another thing to think about, it's August 28th. The next pay-per-view is not till like September 21st, 22nd, something like that. Let's see here. It is the 20th, I think. 20th or the 27th, and I'm not sure which date. So we got a lot of Raws between now and then to kind of book more creative things. So to have John Cena back into the situation makes a lot of sense. I don't know if eventually Cena is going to come out on top of this. This could even go, it could go to WrestleMania between these two guys. As you think about it, yes, wife?
Pigs can fly.
There's a pig in the sky. I know, I saw that. There's a pig in the sky. I know I didn't grow wings, motherfucker. There is a pig in the sky here in Germany, a big pig balloon apparently. And my wife decided that was worth interrupting this sparkling broadcast for. It's okay though. It's important. I agree. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Anyway, so look, to wrap up the Sting talk, I love the idea of Sting with the belt. The fan part of me loves the idea of Sting with the belt. But the rational, like, guy who would rage because of it, because I know that guy exists inside of me who would quickly lose interest in seeing Sting hold, just like I did in TNA. Just like I did in TNA. It would be a real big waste, I think. And you can't waste everything that you've done with Seth Rollins to this point. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. And I think it would hurt everybody involved. And his future runs would look bad because it's always going to be his first title run came to an end at the hand of Sting. And that could be detrimental. He's 57. He's 57, and that is the reality. As much as I love Sting and as much as I have the utmost respect for his career, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He'll probably get in this year. There's so much of that. He does not need to have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. There's no question about that. So hopefully that is going to be the case, and people are going to understand that and kind of go with it and, kind of get a little bit into this feud, because I think it is just going to be a short feud. It's just going to last until Night of Champions, and then Sting will probably go back into a authority type role, whether he's feuding with the Authority, Sting Triple H, Team Triple H versus Team Sting at Survivor Series makes a lot of sense to me. And if you do that build, Sting can have John Cena on his team. Triple H will obviously have Seth Rollins on his team. That way you don't even have to defend the title at that pay-per-view. And it's not going to matter because the star power is going to be more than enough to sell Survivor Series. You just got to have your mid-card built up by then. And you got to have the guys like Kevin Owens, if he's not in that match, if some of these other guys are not in that match, you got to have them in the other title pictures, whether it be dropping the United States Championship, whoever owns it after Night of Champions. I do think John Cena will win that title back. Whether it means putting it onto a younger guy and letting them develop rivalries within the mid-card, or just really going hard with the Intercontinental title, which is what they should have done long ago. They can build the November, December months with those type of things, and I think we're all going to accept that. So it's going to be quite interesting. We'll see what they decide to do. Let's take another call. Hi, Dar. What's going on, my friend? You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave. I just wanted to ask, it looks like Taker and Lesnar are going to go again at WrestleMania 32.
Yes, it does. It does look like that. I called it. People said I was insane.
Yeah, but that's going to suck. It's going to be boring.
I don't think so. I think because of the circumstances of the match, because of the screwy finish we just got, which, by the way, I'm becoming more of a fan every time I see that ending. I really do enjoy it. By the time that we get to Texas, it's WrestleMania 32, 100 and 105,000, 110,000 at Jerry World, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, all this build one more time, Undertaker's retirement on the line, all of this. I think it's going to sell, and I think it'll be quite interesting. If they can deliver half the match they just delivered, then I'll be happy.
But that's the thing, though. They've already had the two matches, and the other thing is who's Sting going to wrestle at WrestleMania 32?
Well, Sting has options. I mean, Sting can go young. I think an interesting idea would have him go against another older guy like a Jericho. I mean, why take a younger guy's spot, or why waste a younger guy's push or whatever, or try giving the rub from Sting there when you can go with an older guy? Sting can wrestle just about anybody, and it'll make sense. I don't think another Triple H match would work, but there's definitely
that would be
guys.
boring.
Yeah, it would be boring. I don't want to see that match again. Yeah. But you know what? Depending on how they work Sting from now until then, he doesn't have to go at another WrestleMania. That's kind of a cool thing. So there's options. John Cena's an option for Sting, believe it or not.
Yeah, that would be good. I hope this Monday they have a face-off, Sting and Cena.
I think it'll happen at some point. But it would be kind of weird since they're both like uber faces. But I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that they could do. There's so much time between now and WrestleMania 32 that I think it's still really.
And we've got the Royal Rumble yet as well.
Yeah, and which we're going to have guys returning between now and then. We're going to have debuts from NXT between now and then. And who knows if guys like AJ Styles or Austin Aries or anybody from the indies that are really big names decide to make the jump between now and then. There's all kinds of possibilities that could change the landscape. So, it's one of those, you got to give it time to build. So we got to focus on what we have now and kind of hope for the future.
Yeah. Just one more question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Dean Ambrose's gimmick is getting a bit cheesy?
Yes, I do. I think they've watered it down about as far as you can water it down, and it might be time for a change. He's such a natural heel to me. When I see Dean Ambrose, I just see heel. Let him be a heel. Just go crazy.
Yeah, it's just really cheesy, like on SmackDown, that crazy gimmick is kind of stupid now.
It is. I'll take the ugly one. I mean, whenever you're starting to quote Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, it might be a time to reevaluate where you are.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, I appreciate the call, man, as always.
Thanks, Dave. Peace
out. Keep on
out.
watching, buddy. Take it easy.
Thanks, man.
Hi, Dar, everybody. Hi, Dar. Good caller. I love having him on the show. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. If you guys are just sitting there needing something to do, go ahead and hit that like button because likes are free. Also, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at, 1,250 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all of that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the support. Coming here every single week, watching the show, getting invested, calling in means a lot to me. If you want to support the shows in other ways, you can go ahead and buy yourself some copious gear right behind me, copious gear. It's available at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com, and you can pick up all your copious gear there. And if you want to go ahead and just support the channel in a more direct way, you can go right into the description box of this video and donate. Yes, you'll get on the show. Your message will get on the show. I'll read it. People will see it. We'll get $1 million interruption. It'll be fantastic. And you can just say, hey, fat man, I appreciate the work. Here's a tip. So there you go. There's the plugs. Let's take another caller. Rod the Entertainer. What's going on, man? You're live Dead on Dave.
Not much. My typical call in. Just woke up. But
yeah, you saying? Well, it's hard to tell with you. So
yeah, my voice is very monotone and just kind of dead.
In general,
inside,
it is.
No, but since this is your kind of like cover everything show.
Yeah.
I was curious because I had a question. Did you get to see any of Wrestle Kingdom 9? Oh, son of a bitch.
I have not yet.
You have not.
No.
I know that.
This is the one that just happened over the weekend, or the one that happened a few
Wrestle
months
Kingdom
back.
9 was.
The one that happened a few months back. Yeah, I watched that.
God, I was gonna say anybody that basically. I saw it the other day. Son of a bitch. Hang on, let me move out of this room really quick. I knew that I had. Hang on. All right, there we go.
Little late to the to the review on Wrestle Kingdom 9.
No, I'd seen it a while back, but I was calling to see if you had seen it, and if anybody else really wants to see it, just let me know because it's not available on DVD anywhere. And I finally found a place to stream it that's not like really fucking fucked up. And
We're
it's
not
really
talking about
fun
places
for
to get illegal material here, Rod. Everybody knows we're getting illegal material. You don't need to advertise it on my show. What's the matter with you, you cheeky monkey? Can't believe you
can't get it fucking anywhere. They just fucking fucked everybody, and we're like,
hey,
you
can get it really easy if you know where to look.
Yeah,
I know. I see it all the time. I know exactly where to look.
All right.
You
right
suck,
with
bro.
On the child porn
it's a great show. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It's fantastic. It's Japanese wrestling, man. It's that stiff competition. You get a little over inundated with some of the stuff, but that's nitpicking. It's nitpicking.
Yeah.
And
it really.
You can anybody who loves wrestling can just walk in and watch it. You don't care about the stories. The stories don't matter. The storylines, because a lot of these matches, not all of them, because I do think Wrestle Kingdom 9 was a little overblown by some fanboys, but that's natural. It happens.
I'm one of those fanboys.
Yeah, it's okay though. But it was still a great show, and the matches really did tell stories. So.
Because it was the thing that always, I want your opinion on this. The thing that always annoys me is when people like Stone Cold, for instance. Number one, he's incredibly out of touch most of the time.
Stone Cold is out of touch. I agree with that.
He's just kind of like, oh, I didn't watch, but here's what I think.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say that.
No.
But anyways, what do you think about people who say that the only way to make WWE safer is to do less of the moves, basically? It's hard to explain. He basically said on multiple occasions that he thinks that people like Daniel Bryan should cut down their move set and just get like 4 or 5 moves that they can do to get the crowd to pop.
Well, look, that's one way of safeguarding the industry, for lack of a better term. But it's a balance when it comes down to it. You can't make wrestling 100% safe. You're not ever going to be able to do it, and nor do we want to see that. And I think most of the wrestlers don't want it to be 100% safe anyway. It's part of the reason. Pittsburgh Boy 96, I will be getting your call. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring you. Just keep hanging on there for a minute. But, there's just a lot that goes into it. People freaked out over that NXT match from last week with Sasha and Bailey. Me being one of them, calling it one of the greatest matches in women's wrestling I've ever seen.
And Sasha almost died.
Sasha, it was great, yes. And then a couple days later, thank you for stealing my thunder there, Dick. Is it okay if I call you Dick? Okay.
Yes. My first name's Richard.
No, perfect. Oh my God, how good is that? So Sasha got absolutely brain busted, man. I mean, most of her momentum was over her head anyway, so she didn't land as hard as that slow-mo really makes it look, but she did land on the crown of her head. So here's the thing, you've got to, I don't know about the 5 moves bullshit because people will get tired of that, but unnecessary spots that don't add to the things, and this is where I'm going with Lucha Underground. Most of the time, this is why I always just get on Lucha's ass, because I feel that they take these unnecessary risks that we saw in ECW just for the sake of doing it. And they do it in a context where they blur the lines so much anyway to where it's a television show where people are forgetting how dangerous this shit is. And people are going to we're going to have another rash of guys that are dying in their 40s, dying in their 50s. And all we do is bitch about it now and blame WWE. When the reality is a lot of the guys didn't even have the longest stints of their career within the WWE that are dying at these ages. It's just...
That's what, my bad.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
My main problem with the idea that you should cut your moveset down to 4 moves
I don't like
is what the hell? Okay, okay. Anyways, my main problem with it is that you look over somewhere like Japan, because, I'm a Japan mark, yeah. I'll admit it. But you look over somewhere like that, they're incredibly stiff and all have incredibly wide move arrangements.
I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. The move sets,
really,
yeah, and I'll tell you why. You look at a guy like Okada, especially Okada. A lot of his and Nakamura too. Very stiff, but there are a lot MMA striking based move sets. So when they and a lot of them are basic. A lot of their other maneuvers are suplexes and variations of suplex. So it is still a small moveset that's made to look bigger, and that's okay. That's called varying up what you do. Kevin Owens is a prime example of this. He does basically 3 different types of suplexes, but he does them in so many different variations. But the fall to the ground, the way he positions the body when they hit the ground is the exact same every time. It's just the setup that makes the move look different. That's what makes it look innovative. That's what makes it look completely different. So it's just... I'm in agreement with you that the movesets definitely look more varied and everything, but in reality, when it comes to setup and execution, a lot of moves in Japanese wrestling are similar. Now, they look different, but when you look at how they... I think... Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Okay. My main point
okay.
is just... I was trying to get across the point that they seem to be much stiffer
They are.
obviously
They are
strong
much
style,
different.
but
There's no question.
they also seem to do a lot of dangerous things that WWE obviously won't do. But they're also incredibly well trained.
They are.
Like they
Different
are.
culture.
I mean, to me,
Different
that's
culture.
the solution to all these problems. It's not limiting the wrestlers. It's making sure they're well trained if they want to do something.
You're 100% right. You're 110% right. And that's why, if you're not familiar with Japanese style training, they train in dojos. They train almost like MMA fighters train. They have camps. They have dojos. They have training centers.
Between the two.
What's the word that I use there at the end? Training centers. That is what the whole idea behind NXT and this whole performance center is. Now, people will disagree and say, well, that they're just training them how to work the WWE playbook, as Stone Cold has said, teaching them the WWE playbook. As long as they're not taken away from the originality of all of these guys in the move, and I think Daniel Bryan is kind of a bad example to use about how limited he became. I think he's more hurt than he'll ever let on, and I think he's had to even make some adjustments.
I was talking
himself.
about mainly that Stone Cold had said that he thinks he should limit his moveset.
In his
Daniel Bryan.
In his case, Stone Cold's 100% right.
Yeah,
in Daniel
probably
Bryan's
so.
case, 100. I agree with him 100%. Because Stone Cold understands the neck injuries. He understands it. He gets it. And guess what? Daniel Bryan is not as big as Stone Cold. He is all the wear and tear that he's taken, he's going to have hell in his 40s. Absolute hell. So I think Stone Cold's right there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking my call, Dave.
Hey, no
I
problem,
enjoyed
man.
this little Japanese chat.
I love talking Japanese wrestling. I just don't do it
too.
a lot because, honestly, most people talk about it just because they want to seem cool. They don't understand it. So there's not a huge hunger for it. And while there might be 5 to 10 people who really want to hear about it, I got to go where the biggest market is. So I talk about the more.
Which is why I tried to steer it towards comparing to WWE,
and
not
you did
just
a
specifically.
wonderful job with that, Ra. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate
man,
it, Ra.
you have
Take
a
it
good
easy,
day.
buddy. Ra the Entertainer, always entertaining. William Fuller, you're live with Dead on Dave, man. What you got?
Good afternoon, Dave. Are you alright?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good as well.
That's good.
Anyway,
I'm good. Proper.
I only got one thing to talk about today.
What you got?
About the tag team division.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say how much I'm loving the New Day right now.
Yes.
They are so good.
Oh, so good. Save a table, break a Dudley. I love that.
Have you watched the interview with Michael Cole?
No. Which one? The latest one?
With the New Day.
No, I missed it. I think I missed it. If it's new, I missed it.
Was like they don't respect furniture.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't respect
Yeah.
and then Michael Cole. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. And what I love about the New Day is even though they're acting as heels, they are over with the crowd.
They're getting over. They're getting over more and more. And
I don't understand. I watched Joe Cronin's video saying that Vince McMahon wants to turn them face, but I don't think they need to. I mean, they're over as heels. And
the thing was, he brought New Day in when he created New Day. The idea was for them to be a face, and it didn't work. So he begrudgingly turned them heel. They cannot go to a full face turn because the crowd will turn right back on them. They will go right back to New Day sucks. We like the New Day now because they're dickheads. Because they're that's why we love how insane they are. And as much as I love what Kofi's doing, as much as I love what Big E's doing, that star of that group is Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
There's no question.
We did talk about how much we love and hate. It's like a love-hate. We find his voice really annoying sometimes.
I don't. I love hearing every word he says. I love his voice. I go to bed watching Up, Up, Down, Down because I love Xavier Woods' voice that much. I love this guy.
What I love is the fact that he like beat up El Torito at SummerSlam, and he was like, yeah, I did that, yeah, and I was just so good. And one more thing about the tag team division.
Yeah,
it's awesome that 3D are back.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
That was a genuine surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think this messes up the tag team division because the primetime players still have to do their rematch? If
I don't think it messes them up very much because I don't know how viable the primetime players are in the tag team division anyway. I don't think they did a good job of getting over with their run. I think they disappointed a lot of people in the back. That's why they were so quick to put the belts back on the New Day. So I don't know how much it messes it up. I think what it does is whenever you have young tag teams and Lucha Dragons, even Primo and Epico, the Los Matadores, Fernando and whatever the fuck, they're still they're rather young. They're I think they're early 30s, maybe even late 20s. The primetime players, both been around for a while, but still relatively green especially Titus, who can get wildly out of control at times, and Darren Young is borderline awful. But then you have all the teams down in NXT. So to have the Dudley Boyz, the most decorated and arguably the most popular tag team in history, in the division, helping these guys out. The Young Bucks learned a hell of a lot from them. The Wolves learned a hell of a lot from them. So I'm expecting all these young tag teams to do the exact same thing and just benefit from having these guys in there. Now, I have a caveat to that, and that is they have got to stop being nostalgic just for nostalgic's sake. I said this on the SmackDown review, and I'll repeat it. The Dudleys cannot be a caricature of the Dudleys. Yep. Just be the Dudley Boyz. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see Bubba going tables, tables, table after he does the tables spot. He's placating. He's playing too much to the crowd, in my opinion.
What I love is when he goes into that euphoric trance. That would be. It's not. That's what he used to do.
Yes.
You don't have. It's not. It's difficult to explain. I mean,
just be the Dudleys. Just be the Dudleys.
Yeah. The Dudleys can't be going around getting old women and putting them through tables like they did back in when
obviously, yeah.
You can't do that. You have to remember. We have to remember that. But you can't be a caricature of yourself.
Yes,
definitely.
You be the character, not a caricature, and that's the important thing. We are already marking out because they're Dudleys. We don't need a reminder that they're the Dudleys constantly. We know they're the Dudleys. Just be the
awesome.
Dudleys.
They're an awesome tag team. We've forgotten them.
Just be the Dudleys. That's all they got to do. They got it easy.
Maybe they're worried about the fact that maybe it's a younger crowd and maybe they don't know them or something along. Maybe they have to do that.
And that could be fair. That could be fair. But judging off of the reaction on Raw, that's not a very good argument because
it's in Brooklyn though. It's a
True.
Strong.
East
what happens
Coast.
when he goes to like Oklahoma or I don't know, somewhere? I don't know. I'm not good with the wrestling crowds.
I've got to figure that wherever they go, the Dudleys are going to get strong reactions. But I'll tell you why they won't. If they continue down the path that they're on, where it's hokey and corny and WWE-ish, all those words that people like to use when talking about what happens when people go to WWE, they make them corny. They're going to hate that shit, and the reactions are not going to be as good. So, and then they're going to start talking about breaking them up again, and maybe Bully Ray needs to be on his own, which I
God.
I mean, all this stuff will start coming out. And the reality is they're both in their mid-40s. They're both in their mid-40s, and their ring work is not going to be what it was 10, 15 years ago. We saw that on SmackDown. It was not a good match. That was not a good match. Nobody can sit here and tell me that was a good match, because it wasn't. You can blame the Ascension if you want, but the Dudleys look old. That's okay, though. We don't care that they're old. We don't care that the matches aren't as good. They're the Dudleys. Just be the Dudleys. That's it.
By the way, before I go, Dave,
yes,
I don't have much else to say. Thank you for telling me the NXT TakeOver is in London because I had no clue, and I'm going to try and get tickets.
December, mate. You got to go and take. I want you to try to interview people and shit, man. Even if it's just random spectators, it doesn't have to be anyone famous. Just interview people and get people. I want you to be my eyes on the scene, and I'll put that shit on here, dude.
All right, thank you. See you later, Dave.
Take it easy, buddy. William Fuller, everybody. We're going to go right into another phone call, I believe. He hung up as I answered. Let's see if he answers now. Pittsburgh Boy 96, you've been trying to get on, and I just answered and you hung up, so I'll go ahead and call you back. Pittsburgh Boy 96, you're live with Dan and Dave. What you got?
Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm living large, baby. I'm living large, having good old times.
I don't have anything about sports or wrestling, but I do have something that I do find very disturbing.
Please, hey, let's get real.
I don't know if you heard or not, but like, did you hear about that journalist and cameraman that were shot and killed? Yeah,
I did.
That I live in that city.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was actually woke up about maybe half an hour after they did that newscast, and I wake up and I get on Facebook and I see everyone posting a video of that. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? And
I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't do it.
I was like, in the city I live in, I would never think that something like that would happen. I'm still shooken up about it.
I'm sure, man. So you've watched the news with that particular reporter. I want to get her name and everything. I really, if we're gonna talk about this, I want to do it right.
Allison Lindsay. I mean, not Allison Lindsay. Allison Parker and Adam Ward.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And they last night at the football game, because I still go to my high school's football games, even though I graduated there 2 years ago. I still go to the high school football games.
Yeah.
And they had a moment of silence, and it's
really rough.
Still
man.
hard to believe.
So you live in Roanoke? It's Roanoke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Once again,
horrible.
a deadly
oops, had some background noise playing there. You know, I don't even want to talk about the guy who did this shit. You know, too many people have talked about it, and unfortunately, the bigger story has become the lack of media coverage. Because everybody who's pissed off about the things that happened in the past with all the overblown media coverage of some of the white people shooting black people, regardless if they're cops or just crazy fucking psychopaths, all of that coverage was there. But now a black man shoots two white people on air and we don't hear anything. So a lot of people were freaking out over that fact. And unfortunately, because of that situation, what happened to Allison Parker and Adam Ward are not being discussed enough. Once again, just like it happened with the
guns.
The guns have nothing to do with it. And fuck that. I'm not. This is not an anti. I'm sorry. I don't blame guns. I was trained. I was in the military. I had a gun with me, my M16 with me for 18 months, attached to my hip. Never used it outside of the context of what I was trained to use it for. So proper training and proper respect of any type of weapon, whether it be a knife, a toothpick, or a goddamn gun, is all that needs. And keeping it out of the hands of psychopaths, by the way, which could be done with proper legislation and due diligence. But all of that is even a conversation of guns. Yet again, it's taking away from the actual situation, and it's disrespectful to Allison Parker and Adam Ward, the victims. Once again, just like the church shootings, the victims are being completely overlooked. And we're making more big of a deal out of the murderers in these cases, these piece of shit human beings that are making this world harder to live in, than we are in empathizing and trying to just deal with the situation. These victims, man. Does anyone give a fuck? Doesn't seem like it. You know, the piece of shit who did, he's dead. Thank God this guy's dead. I'm glad he's dead. Good that he's dead. Let's never talk about him again. Because he's a goddamn professional victim is the word they've used for him. Talk about Allison Parker and Adam Ward and how to prevent shit like this from happening in the future. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Because I've been watching the news pretty much for the past 2 days now about the whole thing, and I've seen more talking about gun control than I have the actual victims themselves. Sure. It's sickening. It's pissing me off.
It's absolutely sickening. It's rough and it's tough to deal with, but I didn't talk about this yet. This is the first time I've even brought it up on a show. It's because this one really affected me because just like the whole.
It was on live TV.
It was live TV, and he recorded his own. It looked like a goddamn video game. It looked like a first-person shooter the way that it happened. I got sent the screenshot of him pointing the gun at Allison, and it's horrendous, man, because it just looks like a video game. And now people are already starting to clamor about, look how it looks like a video game. That must mean video games might be involved in all this bullshit. Once again, taking the emphasis off of where it needs to be. The piece of shit who did it and the victims that lost their lives. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue because we have this fucked up media coverage that it's more about getting the ratings and the eyeballs and as many buzzwords as humanly possible than it is about actually trying to resolve the issue and informing the public properly. God forbid do that. It's so instead, let's suspend guys like Kurt Schilling for making a fucking correlation of numbers between subsects of cultural goddamn groups of people. Not one thing in that meme that he sent that he got suspended for was fucking racist. Not one thing about it. And that's not subjective. It's common fucking sense. And yet, That's a big goddamn deal. Everything is big fucking deals now, except for the horrendous things that are happening. You want to talk about protecting the integrity of the Muslim religion or not throwing more dirt at the Germans? We're talking about subsects of those groups of people that murdered people. We can say whatever the fuck we want about it. And by the way, ISIS makes goddamn the Nazis look like a Boy Scout troop, okay? What ISIS is doing, while not having caught up to the numbers of the Holocaust and what the Nazis did, it will eventually because it's continuing to go unchecked. I'm sorry, this one, being former military, I just like it, a lot of emotions. And if you Touch 'em All this week with me and Jeff Huffman, you watch the end of the show, you see me lose my mind, quite similar to how I'm losing my mind right now, because this does touch a nerve for me. And just all this emphasis on all the things that don't fucking matter, that have no actual worth in life is what we're talking about instead of trying to fix anything. Now, look, life is a hard thing to fix. We're not going to fix life with words. We're not going to fix life with bureaucracy. The only thing that's going to fix life is you, me, everybody watching, take a look at themselves and figuring out ways to hold themselves accountable for their bullshit. And once we do that, we can move on and move forward as a fucking society. You think I give a fuck that we got amazing technology and iPhones? And I went to a McDonald's today. We went to the McCafe and there was a goddamn screen where you can just punch your order in now and you don't even have to talk to anybody because society is becoming less personable every goddamn day. Tweet to everybody, message everybody. Nobody actually has to interact. Nobody has to learn basic fucking human skills anymore. Because we're all so caught up in our own bullshit, nobody wants to take personal responsibility. That is the problem. Nothing else, personal responsibility. Nobody has it anymore. That's all I got. What else you got, fucking Pittsburgh boy? I love you.
Love you too, man.
Woo!
They've done quite a bit of coverage at my at the college I go to. They've done like where they were shot and killed at Smith Mountain Lake. I've gone to that lake like at least once every summer, and it's gonna be hard for me to go back there. It's gonna be rough.
By the way, my wrestling says you can't blame Muslims for ISIS. No, I can't blame Muslims for ISIS. I blame the terrorists for ISIS who happen to be a part of the Muslim faith. Don't fucking turn this into a matter of semantics. Know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't say ignorant goddamn things to try to fucking race bait. That's not what I was saying. That's not what anybody is fucking saying with a goddamn brain, my wrestling. Okay? That's all I'm going to fucking say. Because I don't want to lose my mind on people. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not saying you're blaming. That's not what's being said. It just so happens the group of people that is fucking murdering people, cutting people's heads off on cameras, they happen to be Muslim. They're a extremist group of the Muslim faith. Oh, by the way, while we're on the subject, extremists in any case are bad. Don't be an extremist, whether you're an extremist masturbator or extremist fucking Muslim. You shouldn't be it, because when you go to extremes, in one case, you're going to cut someone's fucking head off. In the other, you're going to rip your goddamn dick off from masturbating too much. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't be an extremist. Okay, go ahead. What else you got?
and also like, what do you think the main problem with this type of shit is? Do you think it's psychological, or as some people want to say, it's a gun problem, like Obama, or like what do you think it is? I just don't understand how this shit could be prevented anymore. It's absurd.
You know, people who commit these type of crimes, whether it be from different forms of psychopathy or mental illnesses that have gone undiagnosed, you know, we don't know. A lot of the things that happen with these type of people is it does go undiagnosed, and we're not catching it early, or it's being ignored. Whatever the case may be, it's something that has to be dealt with. Again, if not on the individual, then the people that are around. So it's, I don't know. Tommy C would love that question, by the way. But now I'm so freaking worked up now. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's more psychological than anything, because we need to keep the guns out of the hands of crazy people.
Oh, of course.
I mean, people want to say it's a gun problem. Guns don't go off by themselves.
No, you're right.
There has to be a finger to pull the trigger.
Absolutely.
It's not guns.
No, it's the ease of which fucking people who cannot use guns probably, or are going to use them for bad goddamn tendencies, are the problem. So yeah, it's about proper legislation and good background checks and all that stuff. Whether people freaking out over being a 3 or a 5 or a 7 day wait, who the fuck cares? As long as things are being kept out of the people that can use them for bad will, keep it out of their hands, then that's all that matters. But by the way, guns aren't the only thing that you can kill someone with. The reality is, if you want to kill somebody bad enough, you're going to do it. You're going to do it with whatever means necessary. If you get rid of all the guns, then stabbings will become more popular again. So there's just, I don't know. There's no way to stop somebody who really wants to kill a prick. There's just no way to stop them.
You know what's sad? What's really sad is how this incident happened the other morning. This weekend at the Berglund Center, there's a gun show going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's people out there protesting it.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, and that's okay. Look, once again, guns are not the complete issue. They're not. Yes, there are countries that don't have guns in their society, and yeah, there's low crime rates, but there's also a lot of examples where it's not the case. And there's examples, Netherlands, over in my fucking territory, above me, the goddamn Swiss, everybody has fucking guns and nobody shoots each other. Why do they have proper training and they keep the guns out of the psychopaths? Anyway, you got anything else, man?
That's all I got, bro.
Thanks for working me up.
Thanks for taking the call.
Hey, no problem, Pittsburgh boy. And, stay strong over there. And it's good that your mind is in the right place.
All right, man. Thank you.
Take it easy, bud. Pittsburgh boy 96. It's interesting getting a response and a point of view from somebody who's in the area. He's in Roanoke. And, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. All right, let's go into the chat, which I'm sure is just filled with craziness because everybody is in here. Furious Johnson, he wants to know Dave's number. Well, Dave doesn't have a number. I'm on Skype. It's in the description box, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now. It's on Skype. If you want to call in, it's David Vancura, DavidVancura. You can go ahead and call in. And we'll get this thing back on track. You guys want to talk about wrestling, sports, or more about this stuff? I'm completely fine with all of that. Doesn't really matter to me because I'm here and I'll talk. But now I just blew my load. I'm tired now. I got too excited. I'm tired from the day anyway. So I got some more things that I want to cover. You guys are more than welcome to call in and talk about whatever you like. And we will keep going on through things. So we got through Sting as WWE Champion. We talked about that. So let's talk about the Divas situation because I feel that that's a problem. Everybody's talking about the revolution that is the Divas revolution and all this stuff. And everybody's getting all up in arms because of how things are going awry. And they should be because the WWE is once again showing how they can mishandle any golden opportunity. Now, the question really has to become why. You know, they had a formula that they can go off of, what they did in NXT, yet what they're doing with these very talented women wrestlers that they brought up, they put them in teams, kind of anchoring them to albatrosses that they cannot possibly make look good, which wouldn't be a problem in and of itself if they weren't constantly showcasing all of them en masse, all together at the same time. It's infuriating. It doesn't work. We want to see these ladies in singles competitions. We want to see matchups. We can see matchups with Brie Bella, with Nikki Bella, with Sasha Banks, with Becky Lynch, with Charlotte. We can see those matchups and we'll be completely happy. Even Alicia Fox thrown in there. But we got to stop seeing these 9 women matches, these 3-on-3s, even the 2-on-2s. We don't want to see it anymore because it's diluting the matches. It's diluting what these women are able to do. And it's frustrating, and it feels insulting, and it feels like everything is getting dropped the ball. And the fact that we continue to focus on the Bellas is another obvious problem, obvious issue. But what's the solution? They want to go ahead and break AJ Lee's record. And Nikki's right there, so obviously she's going to get that. But something that happened this week, and this is 100% rumor. We do not know if this is true whatsoever. This is stuff that I saw Meltzer write and other things. And I just want to talk about it. I'm not talking about it as it's fact. I'm talking about it as a rumor and just kind of just going with it a little bit. There's rumors that there's been a couple times recently that Nikki Bella was going to drop the belt. She was going to drop the belt, and John Cena stepped in and protected her, told the brass, no, she's not dropping the belt. I don't know if that's true. It seems like it could be true. And if it is, shame on John Cena for not being a little bit more open-minded and far-sighted when it comes to what's going on in Divas division. Now, whether or not that happened before the Divas Revolution or after it, that matters a little bit. But if it turns out to be true, hopefully we'll get that information and we'll be able to judge accordingly. And I will slam John Cena for it if I ever find out that it's true, because it's bullshit if he did it. But I understand it. You're going to protect your woman. You're going to protect her spot. I get that. It's wrong. And it's part of the reason why so many people hate John Cena for playing the backstage politics that so many people hated Hulk Hogan for. But guess what? It's an advantage you get as being the top guy. And he uses it. Say what you want. I don't know. Even with Nikki as champion, the emphasis doesn't have to be on the Bellas constantly, with them always losing as of late, but walking out with their belt held high each and every single time. It's frustrating. It's nauseating. And I think we're all just getting sick and tired of it. So the question is, how long is it going to be before the emphasis comes back on the individual matches? I don't think it's going to take that long. I think that we're going to start seeing it sooner rather than later because the fan reaction. Now, my worry was that the fans reacting the way they have recently with some of these matches was going to cause the WWE to drop and maybe hold back even more some of these ladies. Now, that's still a possibility of happening. But because in the global climate of women's sports is hotter than it's been arguably ever, they're going to continue to go down the road, and having people like Nia Jax and all the Athena talk and some of the Japanese wrestlers that could be coming in, the talent pool is going to continue to expand. And when the talent pool expands, we see good results in the ring. And that's what we got to hope for. So let's get through the Nikki Bella bullshit. Let her break the record, and let's see what happens if she drops the belt the night after, which I believe is exactly what's going to happen. Gajar, you're live with Dead on Dave, man. What you got?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering, who do you think will captain the teams at Survivor Series?
I think that they might go back and do more traditional matches than we've seen in recent years. I do think one of them will be Sting and Triple H. I have a feeling they will both captain a team. I think we'll see a Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns captained teams. And more than likely, we'll see a Divas one. Maybe Sasha Banks and Paige, maybe. Because they're probably not going to give it to Charlotte yet. Or maybe even Nikki Bella. Who knows?
Yeah, and have you heard the rumor of Raw possibly being canceled due to the hurricane?
Yes, I do have some on that in my notes. I was going to get to that a little bit later in the show, but since you brought it up, Monday Night Raw is being threatened to be postponed yet again due to a storm. It'd be the second time this year because it's supposed to take place from Tampa, Florida, which is about to get hit by Tropical Storm Erica, which absolutely just flew through the Caribbean and just laid waste to that fucking place. But apparently the storm is lessening. It's about to be downgraded apparently. It's going to hit landfall, and they're not sure that it's going to hit with the force that they thought it was going to hit. So the word as of right now is Raw is still taking place as intended. So we'll see what happens.
And when do you see Enzo and Cass coming up?
Soon. I think it's getting time. They have a lot of new tag teams down there in NXT, and I think having Cass with them in that 8-man was kind of a swan song in some ways. There's just not much more that Enzo and Cass can do at this point. It's time to move on and see what they're going to do at the next level. And they don't need a championship run down in NXT to see if they're ready, because this is not a team that's going to need title runs to be over. They're just going to be over because they're Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Gage?
No.
Hey, I appreciate the call, bud.
Yep.
Take it easy. Dr. Bostonian, we're going right into another call. What's going on, man? I had to drop you because you had all kinds of fucked up noise in the back. But you seem
sorry,
good,
man.
No, it's okay, bud. What you got, man? You're live with Dead on Dave.
Well, you were just talking a little bit about. I just kind of jumped onto your video here, but you were talking about the Divas a little bit, and I just wanted to give my opinion on that.
Yes, please.
I think they should somehow kind of eliminate Team Bad or put them in the shadow and not have them do commentary for 2 weeks, and then they should do some sort of segment on Raw or maybe SmackDown or some shit. And they should all just split up. Sasha should go to turn on Tamina, and then Tamina goes to turn on Naomi or some shit like that, where they all just end up turning on each other. And it can start kind of moving the singles thing, what everyone wants. They can start moving that into the direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what they have to do. It has to become more about the individuals and just nix this team thing anyway. It was a good catalyst to get them all up there, but now it's time for them to start getting competitive and doing their own things. I'm in 100% agreement. Hold on one second, Dr. Bostonian. Furious Johnson, people are trying to tell you in the chat. I'll go ahead and put this in plain English so you can understand. You can call in on Skype. I don't have a number because I am in Germany and some people don't want to call from it. So everybody can call from Skype and it's very easy. And my name, as everyone is telling you in the chat, is David Vancura, DavidVancura. Go ahead and hit me up on Skype. Add me as a contact. I'll add you right back. You can call in and get whatever you want to hear. Because yes, I am in Germany. That's where I am currently residing. And you can go ahead and call on in. There you go. So what else you got, Mr. Dr. Bostonian guy?
Well, I had a question. Do you think that Brie Bella will leave as soon as Nikki drops the belt?
I don't know. I mean, she ended up signing her, well, at least in the storyline on friggin' Total Divas, which you can't even tell what's real on there anymore. She did end up signing her extension, so I don't know if she's going to leave, but at the same time, I kind of hope she does. I kind of hope, even if the Bellas don't leave wrestling, I kind of hope to take a break. I think it's time. It's time to take a break. The Divas needs to stop being divas. And for that to happen, which, by the way, it won't, not as long as Total Divas exists, and as long as it continues to be a success in the ratings for E! Television or whatever the hell's covering it, it's not going to go anywhere. So, all this talk about going back to, women's title and all that shit, it's not. It's not happening because they have a show to continue to promote. So we'll see what happens with that, though. I do think it would be good to get away from the whole Divas bullshit, and getting the Bellas out of there en masse would certainly do that.
That's good. And I also wanted to talk about the tag team situation with obviously the return of the Dudleys and the Primetime Players and New Day, which are probably my favorite 3 tag teams. Especially the New Day. I think I just like the New Day more because I know.
Sorry.
I don't know. Like, I didn't really grow up with the Dudleys. I kind of know the New Day more. Like, I used to love Kofi when I was like 10. So I don't know. I just kind of I just know all those like dumbasses more than the Dudleys, but I still respect the Dudleys a shit ton.
I keep muting so people can't hear me scream for my daughter. You can hear me because you're on
I can
Skype.
hear you.
Yes, I know. Go ahead and turn the light up a little bit, man. Please. There we go. Thank you. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
So do you think, because I don't think people want to, I don't really want to see a triple threat for the tag team titles because we've kind of just got that with a fatal four, with a 4-way.
Yeah, we don't need
So
that.
do you think they'll have the Dudleys go up against the primetime players and like they'll beat them or some shit to become the number 1 contenders?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. I also think they might be go ahead the same route that NXT is going, and if they did a tag team tournament, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. But that being said, they could always go Dudley Boyz and primetime players, but the primetime players still get their automatic rematch anyway. So maybe you go ahead and you get that out of the way on a Raw or a SmackDown, and you let them get disqualified or whatever, and the Dudley Boyz beat them the next week, and they kind of jump the line. That's a very good possibility.
Or like there's an interference, like the Dudleys are about to win, and then there's an interference with the primetime players.
Yeah, I don't
make
think.
them
But
both
see, if they
team.
do that, if they do an interference angle with the primetime players being involved, then you're setting up a triple threat. And I don't think you need to do that.
Yeah. It just seems weird because they just put the titles on them a week ago, and it just seems weird to take them off.
Oh, I don't think they're taking them off.
Actually,
I don't think the Dudleys are here for a title run. At least not right this second. They're here to help the New Day continue to be over. The New Day the New Day might be the most over group in the entire company.
I personally love the New Day.
Everybody is loving the New Day. What they're doing is hysterical. And once again, I'm going to give credit to Xavier Woods for not only what they're doing on screen, but what he's doing in YouTube. He's becoming popular in YouTube with this up, up, down, down, and all the things that he's doing. If you're not watching up, up, down, down, and you love video games or wrestling, or like me, both, you're missing out on one of the best kept secrets. 135,000 subs already since May.
Great channel.
Get on Up, Up, Down, Down. It's phenomenal. And he just announced that Divas will start being on the show, which is going to make it even better. It's going to be hysterical. So I'm excited about all that. And I think it's helping the whole New Day situation get over even more.
And you just brought up Xavier Woods. Did you see the hole in his pants on Monday Night Raw? Did you see the hole in his pants? I wanted to bring that up, but I couldn't call in. But the dude had a hole.
Nobody mentioned it.
His legs. He had a giant hole in his pants. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was expecting like a fucking groundhog to pop out or some shit.
Easy access.
And like you said, I'm from Massachusetts, so they were advertising a house show here where Seth Rollins defends the heavyweight championship against John Cena. So, when is the next what's the next pay-per-view? Night of Champions?
Night of Champions, yeah.
What's the date on the pay-per-view?
I believe it's September 20th. It's either September 20th or September 27th. I believe it's the 20th.
Yep. Sting's not winning.
No, Sting's not winning. Sting's not winning. He's there as a filler. He's there to, more than likely, both he and Seth Rollins and Triple H are going to beat down Sting, and John Cena will end up making the save. I think John Cena is going to end up taking the title off, taking the United States title off of Seth Rollins at Night of Champions, and then Seth Rollins is going to pull double duty. It's going to be hysterical. So there's a lot of interesting things they can do that night. You got anything else, man?
Just say that I actually really liked when John Cena was the United States champion. I really liked his shit when he was doing that. But yeah, that's really it. Thank you.
They missed opportunities to take the belt off him, but they can still do it if he wins it back. So we'll see what happens. He can give the rub to somebody still. I appreciate the call, man. Take it easy, Dr. Bostoni. Take it easy. Kyle Johnson, you've been trying to call for a while. Go ahead and call back. Now that nobody else is on the line, you can go ahead and call in. I will take your call. Add me first. Please add me to contacts first. And then I'll take your call. If you guys are just sitting there, need something. Yes, Mo Bunk, I'm sucking Xavier Woods' dick. I don't have a problem. Hey, I like Kofi too. I like Big E. They're fine. But Xavier's a man. He's the man. Because if you're not keeping it tight, you got problems. John Pearson says, Dave, Xavier just put up a new up, up, down, down with Kalisto. Awesome, man. I'm going to watch that right after this. I'm going right and watching it after this. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to watch me some up, up, down, down because that keeps it tight. Kyle Johnson, you were live with Dead on Dave. What's going on?
Hello?
Hello?
I was just wanting to talk about Jon Stewart ruining John Cena's chance.
I'm good. I'm glad that he did. Go ahead. What you got?
Yeah. Oh, it's me?
No, I don't know what just happened. Oh, I told that other guy to add me. He didn't add me. Fuck him. Did you call me? Jermaine, call me from don't use the same chat you called from the other day.
Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Okay.
Hold on. I put him on hold. Kyle, I put you on hold. I'm sorry about that, but that's why you need to add me to contacts first so I can take other calls with you.
How?
Hold on. I'm going to hang up on you and then add you to contacts since you can't figure this out, and then you can call back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Some people's children's. Now, Kyle, I just added you. Now, you have to accept that, and then you can call, and then you can be a part of the group. Oh, Jesus. These are millennials. These are kids. They're the ones who invented this shit, right? Come on, these are the ones that are supposed to be able to use this. I'm an old man. I'm an old fart. I don't know shit. Crazy. Driving me nuts. Anyway, let's go back into the Jordan Turner. I love Up, Up, Down, Down from Xavier Woods. His YouTube channel is awesome. I agree. Mo Bunk, life is life is up. Okie doke. Given name, family name. That little kid just transformed into a Frenchman. Let's take another call. The Germinator, Jermaine. What's going on, man? You're live.
All right. Hi, Dave. Can I talk about some baseball?
Yes.
So,
yeah, come on, man. I love me some baseball.
Yo, man, we have something going on in Canada with the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
and we're leading today.
Team.
Yeah, well, you know, each year that the owner take out some money to buy, some hitters. I mean, yeah, we have a good season, but once we are close to the playoff, every time it's the same thing.
This is a little bit different this year, though, man. I think,
you think?
Yeah, I do. I really do, actually. Toronto was a good team before they made the two biggest moves in the trade deadline by getting the best pitcher available on the market and the best hitter available on the market. They went and got them both. And now this team has seemed to have just gelled. It seemed that David Price was that missing ingredient in the pitching rotation.
Yeah.
And Troy Tulowitzki, for some reason, has just reinvigorated every hitter on that team. They were already raking like a mother, but having Troy there just gives them this unbelievable balance and a little bit of extra pop that Jose Reyes was not giving them. And the pitching side, David Price is David friggin' Price. I mean, come on. So I'm very much up on Toronto. I'm very high on these guys. And in a pretty damn weak AL American League outside of Kansas City, who looks unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. That's the team that I'm afraid of, and especially the coach. I don't know between those two coach how it's gonna turn, because in playoff the coach are very, very important.
Yeah, well,
with the strategy.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see what they end up doing with it up there. It's gonna be very interesting. 1 second, Jermaine.
Yep.
Kyle, this kid can't figure it out. I sent you a request. I sent you an ad request. I'm not taking your call until you figure out how to click on it. You click on the accept request, information request, whatever, and then I'll add you. Jesus Christ, I'm not accepting this guy's call. God damn it. This is what you can't have kids on. You can't have them on, Jermaine. Germinator, Jesus, you can't have the kids on. It doesn't work. Oh.
Yeah, I understand.
What else you got, man?
Yeah, no, well, what you say later. Okay, I'm going to take my time. Dave, you are a veteran.
I am.
I understand that because my grandfather was a part of the D-Day in Dieppe. And so I want to genuinely thank you for your services, even if you're not protecting, if I can say, my country, Canada. But still, I mean, we are so close that it's like you're working for me, for us,
In a lot of ways.
you
I
say
think this continued success of the American way and the continued success of the Canadian way are dependent on each other continuing to succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
We're very strong partners with each other, even though that, you know, we're kind of like that neighbor that you don't appreciate until you get a really crappy neighbor next to you. Then you really appreciate that other neighbor. And Canada's always been that great neighbor that doesn't get appreciated enough. So I love Canada. I used to hate Canada, by the way. I used to hate Canada. Oh my God.
Oh, why?
I went to Vancouver when I was a kid, and every time I tell someone who's from Canada that story, and I start talking about going to Vancouver, they're like, "Well, there's your problem. You went to Vancouver."
Well, I don't know. I don't know Vancouver that much, but it seems a good place.
I just had a terrible experience. I was like 11 years old.
Oh, yeah?
Terrible experience. But I love Canada now, so hey.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Well, so thank you for taking my call.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Germinator, everybody. Germinator. Steven Kessel, you're live at Dead on Dave. What you got?
Oh, what's going on, Dave?
What's crack-a-lackin', man? Yep, there you go. There we go.
Had to start it off like that.
I guess a Wookiee call is the way to go sometimes. I mean, you could have went with so many other things, but
well, you know, because we just had Sarah Lee and Josh win Tough Enough.
I know.
And you know what, Josh? He might work out in the WWE. He's got the size, got the build.
He's got a good look. A good look. I don't know.
All right.
I'm glad you brought up Tough Enough because that was actually on my list of things to get to. So
yes, it is.
I'm going to ask you, since you're here, and I'm just going to ask you, and no one's going to ask me this question. So, look, the winners, we know what happened. We know the ring rat bullshit that ended up really costing Amanda the entire competition, if you ask me. That strategy certainly backfired. But the question really does become, does Tough Enough deserve a second season? Should we have to sit through another year of this horseshit that is just a big brother with a wrestling ring? What do you think?
Well, if they do another season, I wouldn't put it on TV. Not unless they change the
you
whole
put it
format.
on the network?
Maybe the network, or they have been talking about bringing the Divas search back. Maybe replace that instead.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. I mean, definitely a possibility of doing that.
Yeah. All right.
What else you got?
Bring up some stuff. Well, first of all,
sorry, I got distracted.
Sunday.
I apologize for that. What else?
Okay. All right. What I got here, VMAs are on Sunday, and we got Sting opening Monday Night Raw.
Potentially, if it does not get canceled.
Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah. And it's official. Tom Phillips is off of SmackDown. I think that's a good move there.
Tom Phillips is off SmackDown, and the lead SmackDown announcer has been officially announced to be. What's his goddamn name? Rich Brennan. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, Rich
yes.
Long overdue. Long overdue. Now, if we can only get Corey Graves up there, all will be well in the world.
And now that Tough Enough is over, do we see Booker T back on Monday?
You know what? I really hope not. I hope that they know better than to make that move, because I think Saxon has done a really good job. They want to replace JBL with him. I'm fine with that, because Saxon can play the heel, but I like what Saxon's been doing. I think he's got a really good rapport with Michael Cole. But JBL is obviously the problem with that group. So I don't think that they should replace him with freaking Booker T. There's no need for that. Booker T's horrible. I can't stand Booker T.
Yeah, we can hear Booker T say, "Oh man,
suck it, whatever this shit he says."
All right. How about we got Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm moved up to November 14th?
Yes, November 14th. It was supposed to be in 2016 in January, but now it has been moved up to the Australian card, which is pretty damn intriguing. I think that this is the last favor that Ronda's going to do for the UFC for a while, moving up yet again before she takes a little bit of a break. Kyle, I'm going to hang up on you because you're making a lot of noise. Jesus, man. This guy's, do you hear him breathing like a friggin', he's creeping me out. I breathe heavy, but I'm fat. What's this kid's fucking, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I think there's going to start being an age restriction. Unless you're AJ Tucker, I'm not taking any more 12-year-olds, man. Just not working out.
Yeah, and with the stuff that you say sometimes that get us out of line.
What do I say? I'm amazing. I don't say anything bad.
Oh no, I mean sometimes when people bring some stuff up and then you turn into Joe Cronin for a few seconds.
Oh, I don't turn
into
Joe.
seconds.
I'm older than Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin turns into me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't turn into Joe Cronin. I am this way naturally, motherfucker. Don't ever forget that. How dare you say what you just said? Dead on Dave is his own man. And just because we can cut promos similar sometimes doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Dead on Dave is his own man. I do love being on the Cronin show, though. So I'm his bitch. Who cares? What else you got, Kessel?
All right. Maybe RG3 should just retire now because Kirk Cousins looks like he's starting week 1, which should be an easy win for my Miami Dolphins.
Nothing's easy when it comes to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, okay. Well,
nothing.
Tannehill looks good this year, though.
That's what they said last year, man. Tannehill, you can't look good
He's
in
improving.
preseason. You can't look good in preseason, Kessel. You can't look good in preseason. It's preseason. You can't look good there, Betty. I hate to tell you. But I'm going to get into Miami tomorrow. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am doing a full NFL preview, and I am just amped up for it. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, kids. It will be a weekly show where I come on and just talk some wrestling. Or not wrestling. Fuck. When I talk NFL. We're going to get in everything NFL each and every Sunday morning. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join me. It will be a live show. And you can rage all you want there. I assume that if you can be there, I'm sure you will be.
Maybe 9 o'clock is morning
yes,
early.
9 a.m. is morning. That is the definition.
Yeah, it's early, man. It's early. I want to try and sleep
you big
in.
Vagina. You get up. It's 9 o'clock isn't even that early. My God, kids these days.
Yeah, sleep until 12. At noon. Waking up at noon. How about that?
I don't know.
All right, so now that a couple days has passed, do you still think Jon Stewart is like the worst screw job in history?
Yes. Not because of the screw job itself, not because of the situation, which I think it was perfectly fine, just his involvement. And no, what happened on Raw did not change my mind in the least. Made it worse because really, I wanted to protect Ric Flair. Like, Ric Flair needs your fucking protection, Jon Stewart. That's just, you're a tiny, itsy bitsy little Jewish comedian man. And Ric Flair, the man, needs your help because you can't differentiate. We're supposed to be talking about how fans should be able to be smarter and not fucking do these things. Yet that's his whole reasoning? Come on, no. Jon Stewart was the absolute worst candidate to be involved in that situation, and it made me sick to my ass. Still.
Okay. All right. Well, have you also seen this Scott Hall tweet about this picture?
Which picture?
It says me, Deadman, and Taker.
No.
No, yeah. The caption was me, Deadman, Taker, and it was a picture of him, Taker, and Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't care.
It's pretty interesting, but...
not really. Right. I'm sure it'll get made to be interesting, but who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah, it will get interesting, yeah, but
because
it shouldn't be.
What did he say that was factually wrong? Nothing. It's a dead man. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
He's dead. What is factually incorrect about that statement? Chris Benoit is dead. Okay.
That's the truth.
The truth will set you free.
And nothing but the truth.
What else you got, Kessels? I'm about to wrap this bitch up. I'm tired.
All right. And because you have moved from Sunday to Saturday,
yes, sir.
Instead of talking about how we had just watched in boxing, we are going to talk about what we are about to watch, and that's with PBC on ESPN tonight.
Yeah.
Abner Maris versus Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
That's going to be an exciting fight.
Should be a good fight. We need more of them. We need more of that and less Mayweather talking about Ronda Rousey. Because you know what? I'm getting sick of this talk about these two. Who would win in a fight? Ronda Rousey or Floyd Mayweather? I'm going to say something that people aren't going to like right now, and I don't give a shit. All this talk about if it was a no rules, you not just punching fight that Ronda would beat up Floyd, you're fucking insane. You're fucking insane. Floyd Mayweather has made a career of not getting hit. You really think he's going to let Ronda Rousey get a hold of him? And if he hits her once, it's over. It's done. Even Floyd, not the power puncher that he's never been, never will be. He punches Ronda Rousey, it's over. It's done. So, besides, I don't want to see it anyway. I love Ronda Rousey. I think she could beat up a lot of men. Floyd Mayweather is not one of them, though. Would I pay to see if it happened? Yeah, I would.
Oh yeah.
I'd pay.
Cross promotions.
I know, right?
That's gonna get a lot.
The last thing we need, though, is for either one of those sports, especially boxing, to be looking like any more of a fucking circus, though. Jesus. But I don't know. What else you got, Kessel? I'm about to get rid of your ass.
I think that's it for me for right now.
Well, I appreciate it, good sir. We were supposed to get a call from Huffman, but he didn't call in. I don't know what the fuck.
And just remember, Dave, I'm your best. I'm your loyal fan. This is me, man. This is Steven Kessel. Remember that, baby. And remember, you can't throw me over the top rope, bitches.
Well, I can't. He hung up, but what he doesn't know is I mentally threw him over the top rope. Mentally. Boo. Boo, mentally. I got you. I mentally fucked you so badly, Steven Kessel, that you eliminated yourself from the ring. How good is that? You want to talk about the cerebral assassin? I am the fucking cerebral assassin. I am the game, JR. Let's go ahead and take another call. Huffman, I said his name and he arrives. The Huffman, my good friend, the human Adonis that is Jeff the Huff Huffman. You are. What's up, man?
No, not much. Just taking a break from schoolwork.
Yeah. Well, don't take too big of a break, or you'll fail.
Yeah. Figured you were wrapping it up, but take a few minutes or so. Call in. I've been listening for like the last. Oh, geez. Wow, I've been down here for 45 minutes.
Has it been any good? Has it been good?
No, it has. It
Good
has.
show? Yeah.
I saw you. Yeah, I saw you go nuts again.
Yeah.
Over ISIS.
Well, hey, man, I'm sorry.
Hey, I know, understandably so.
I'm gonna go nuts over it. I'm gonna go nuts over that. I'm gonna go nuts over the damn news reporting stuff. I'm gonna go nuts over it because it's insane. We're focusing on the wrong goddamn things. But before I go into another tangent, I'm sure you have other things that you would like to discuss in a rational, grown-up manner. So please fire at me, man. What's up?
Oh, real quick, Jermaine called in about the Blue Jays, and they're taking it to the Tigers right now. I mean, they're just hitting everything in sight. It's 5-1, but I mean, Jesus, this team hits everything. They didn't hit that.
Yeah, it's never been a problem.
And literally right after we got finished with Touch 'Em All yesterday, the Mariners fired their GM.
Long fucking overdue, that firing. But here's the problem with that. Why fire him now? Why fire him now? What are you going to do? Oh my God, you're going to have a sitting, you're going to have an interim GM who is going to have no chance of becoming the actual GM next year. And anybody who walks into that situation, as Buster Only beautifully points out in a really good article you should go read on ESPN. It's really, really good. Buster Only really does spell it out. All the many problems that that Seattle has, that they're not 2 years away from competition, really being a competitive team again. They're 3, 4, 5 years away. They got to revamp that entire franchise, top to bottom. They are in trouble.
Yeah, we thought we thought they were ready to compete this year. I mean, I bought into it. I'm pretty sure you did too.
I did, but I got off that boat real quick. Remember, if we go back to like episode 5 or 6, I was telling them to dump everybody.
You did. I mean, you had that Cano deal, which is turned out to be
just an albatross.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh God, what a wait.
Fernando Rodney. I mean, he's with the Cubs now.
Yeah. We just paid a little bit of money for him. We didn't have to give him a prospect.
Yeah, I hope to catch lightning in a bottle with that. So
that's basically what Madden's hoping for. He tried it with Soriano, didn't work out. So
didn't
try
work.
with Rodney.
Yeah, the Cubs lost 3 in a row.
Again, this is the second time coming off of a streak of more than 5 wins in the past 3 weeks. Coming off of a big streak, we lost 3 in a row. But you know what? You could, as a Cubs fan, and as a baseball fan, whatever, you could talk about the fact, the Cubs lost 3 in a row again. They also lost to Madison Bumgarner and Clayton Kershaw on back-to-back.
Yeah. I mean, you're really not going to get too upset about that.
Come on. Let's see how they do against Latos tonight. All right? Yeah, talk to me tomorrow. All right? Because I got a feeling that offense is going to bust out tonight, buddy.
Hey, I mean, if it makes you feel better, the Cardinals lost their 5-game winning streak last night.
Yeah, the one time I'm rooting for you, red sons of bitches, you guys lose. Losing to fucking San Francisco doesn't help me.
Down 4-0, they battle back, tie the game, and then lose in the bottom of the ninth. But hey,
we're gonna give this kid one more chance. We're gonna give Kyle Johnson one more chance. Kyle Johnson.
Okay.
Kyle, you have been trying to call in. This has not worked most of the night. We're going to give you one more chance, Kyle. What you got? You're live with Dead on Dave and Jeff Huffman.
I was just wanting to talk about anything.
Well, that doesn't work for me. What do you want to talk about?
Do you like the Cardinals?
Now I got to hang up on you for that. I'm a Cubs fan. What the hell is wrong with this kid? What is wrong with this kid? Did he really ask you that question, Huffman? Did that really just happen?
I think you scared him.
I don't care. Fear's a good motivator. These kids aren't scared enough. That's the problem.
No, clearly. I mean, that is fact.
Oh, I can't believe you just asked me that. Oh, my God. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to go from there. I got a bell now. See, I one-upped Cronin. I one-upped Cronin. I got a real fucking bell.
You have a real bell.
I don't have an app. I got a real bell. Cronin, what you got? I got a bell, a real one. It's a nautical bell, but it's a bell nonetheless.
Ghost forgot how many outs there were.
Ringing that bell.
Well,
I can't
Anthony
believe I've gone
Ghost
this entire show without fucking ringing that bell.
Hey, Anthony Ghost just forgot how many outs there were, and I didn't see who it was, but they just tagged up from second and scored for Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto's sick. They're sick. You got anything else, Mr. Huffman? I think I'm going to wrap this thing up.
Catch though. No, I got game 2, Cardinals Giants tonight, and the Rams got their third preseason game.
Yay! Is Nick Foles going to make it through?
Is he going to make it through? Well, I mean, this is the Rams, so I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
That's interesting. I appreciate you calling in, man.
No, thanks for having me. I will say that Stan Kroenke probably won't be there at the Edward Jones Dome tonight, though.
Yeah, if I had to guess. He's in witness protection. Witness protection for Kroenke.
Yeah.
You should have him over for dinner, Huffman.
Why?
I don't know. Poison him. Tell him how upset you are.
Tell him how upset I am?
Yes, maybe that will convince him to stop this LA nonsense.
Right. I don't have $500 million to persuade him.
Probably not, but it's okay. If you love Huffman as much as I do, make sure you guys check out this week's episode of Touch 'Em All. We had a really good baseball show. It was a lot of fun. Make sure you check that out each and every week on Fridays now, kids. Fridays is the new day for Touch 'Em All. Make sure you check that out. Huffman, I appreciate it, my friend. Now get back to studying.
Oh, I've been doing it. I've been multitasking. I'm reading it right now.
Oh, God. I don't even want to know how that's going. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show, bud.
Oh, actually. All right.
I'll talk to you later, man. Jeff the Huff Huffman, everybody. Jeff the Huff Huffman. So, yeah, I hit all the notes. I've taken all the calls. I've answered as many questions as I'm probably going to answer tonight. Hope you guys had... Oh, you know what? I'll ask another one. Answer another one. Enclosure HD. Dave, do you like Darren Young, a.k.a. Black John Cena? No, I don't like Darren Young. I think his ring work is shitty. He's been around long enough to where we should be seeing more improvement out of him, and it hasn't been working. So, no, I'm not a big fan of Darren Young at all. There it is. Let's see here. Anybody else got some good questions in here before I get the hell up out of here? I don't know. But look, hey, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys watching the show each and every week right here on Dead on Dave Productions. You guys are incredible. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We don't get any bigger if it's not without you. So like, subscribe, and share this video to everybody. To your mama, to your pop. Take it back to Arkansas. All that good stuff. Really appreciate all the support. Go check out my merchandise store over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com and check out all the amazing gear we have there. You can support the channel that way, or you can go ahead and support the channel just by going into the description box of this video and donating and helping Dead on Dave Productions continue to evolve. I'm going to be putting money towards a new microphone. I like this mic. It's a good mic, but I need better because I had to build a pop guard. I had to build this, and it looks shitty because I am terrible at constructing things. Could be it's time for a new one. So that's what I'm going to upgrade to. So your hard tip dollars that you give to me, don't give them to strippers, give them to Dead on Dave. You got a couple extra singles, don't go to the strip club. You're just going to get blue balls. You can't fuck them for a couple dollars anyway. But guess what? You could fuck Dave. Fuck him right on YouTube. Fuck him. Fuck Dave right on YouTube. It's good times. Like, I appreciate everything. You guys are awesome. We're going to have the one, the only, the amazing, the official musician of Dead on Dave Productions, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, close us out just like he opened the show with that official theme song of Dead on Dave Productions, Brock Lesnar. So, hope you guys watch tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, NFL 2015 preview show. Next Saturday, right here on Dead on Dave Productions, Dead on Dave Live, will be a special fantasy football draft episode. So we got all kinds of good stuff. Hope you guys are there for that. Also, catch me over on Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin Show will be monetized this live tonight. I believe 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check that out, as well as every Monday after Monday Night Raw. I'll be there with Joe Cronin on the Joe Cronin Show doing a Monday Night Raw review before I go live right here with a Monday Night Raw review. So that's it. Go home. Go do something else. It's Sunday. It's God's Day. So go do something great and have some fun. And, well, no, it's Saturday. I'm all fucked up. It's not God's Day, but it's every day's God's Day. So go have some fun, and we'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. Deuces. Oh, shit. Wait, come back. Come back. Come back, everybody. Come back. Wait, we're not done. No, we're not done. If you don't have talent, have talented friends. Now we're done. See you next time. Peace.